Hi guys, today I will be doing my January wrap-up. This first month of the new year was quite a successful reading month for me. I finished 5 books and 2 novellas and started another one. The first book that I finished this month was actually Let It Snow, and I already talked about this in my December wrap-up because I had already finished it at the point where I filmed that, and I just read most of it in December, so it kind of fit better. But yeah, let's get into the other books that I read this month. So after I finished Let It Snow, I decided to start The Book of Ivy by Amy Engel, and I also read the sequel right after that, which is The Revolution of Ivy, and this is a dystopian romance duology, I would say. As always in these YA dystopian novels, romance just plays a big role, and this is about a society in which there was like a kind of war, and every year the daughters of the losers marry the sons of the winners. In this book we follow our main character Ivy, and she is like a daughter of people from the loser side, and actually like really important people from the loser side. Like basically the one guy who was very important in this war was like her grandfather or grandfather. Anyway, she was somehow related to him, and so she gets married to the son of like the most important person in this city right now on the winner's side. And the first one kind of had a selection vibe because it deals a lot with just the relationship between these two and how it all evolves and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed this duology. I gave the first book 5 stars and the second book 4 stars. As I said, the first book really had this selection vibe, and I just really enjoyed reading that. It was like just totally my thing, and I really enjoyed both the characters interacting with each other, and just in general really liked how the story went. And then I thought that the second book was just not as good as the first book for me, but still really nice. It took me some time to kind of be sure if I liked where the story was going, but in the end I felt very satisfied with the ending. It really was like a closed case. Like I felt every question that I had was answered, but it didn't feel like a fluffy or happy ending. It felt like a very realistic ending, and yeah, I just really liked the duology. In general, it is very short. Like both of these books have like under 300 pages, I believe, and they are very fast paced, and yeah, just really enjoyed reading this. Next I decided to pick up Numbers by Rachel Ward, and it is about a girl who can see the date of death when she looks at people. So as soon as she looks people in the eye, she just sees a date, and this is the day that they die. I thought that this concept sounded incredibly interesting, and I didn't really know any more about it. I just knew that this girl, you know, had like this ability. I thought that this was going to be like a kind of dystopian novel. I don't really know what exactly I expected, but I just thought that it would have a lot to do with like society and stuff. I just think that this is very false marketing, because the main story is actually about her and a guy that she really starts to like, which is weird for her because normally she didn't really like to come close to people because she always knows when these people will die. They kind of like go on a road trip together, and I don't really want to like say too much about it, but the main story is just really about these two characters, and they are kind of misfits. It was really interesting to follow these two people on their journey and to see their relationship and everything. I decided to give the book 3.5 stars. I just want to say that this book was actually really good once I started understanding what it was actually about, and that is just the relationship between these two characters. And I would actually say that this is a contemporary book. Her ability didn't really have like that big of a role in it. I would definitely recommend this book if you kind of know what to expect. So don't expect like dystopian or apocalyptic or anything like action-y. Just expect like a contemporary, like a quite dark contemporary with like a paranormal aspect. Next I read, I'm so proud because I actually read the series that I said I would probably read first from all of the series that I mentioned in my plans for 2016 video, and that is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I mean, this book was fine. The world is really cool, and I definitely saw a lot of potential for like the rest of the trilogy, but I just didn't think that this book was like so amazing, and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I definitely think this is a good book, but it just wasn't more than 3.5 stars for me. It just was nothing that really made me feel a lot of things. It was just fine. I didn't really connect with the characters all that much. The romance didn't really seem all that interesting to me. I understand why it's so popular in general. I think it's definitely a good book. I think for me, the world building was definitely what I enjoyed most. And then I read 2 novellas that kind of belong into this Grisha universe, and the first was The Tailor and the other one was The Demon in the Wood, and I enjoyed both of these novellas quite a lot. The Tailor was just a really short one. It had like just a few pages, and it is about one of the characters in Shadow and Bone, a character that I personally found really interesting and liked quite a lot, so I thought it was interesting to read from her point of view, and it told us a lot about her but also told us about other characters. I just thought that it was very well done in general. And then the other one, The Demon in the Wood, I gave 5 out of 5 stars. This novella was a bit longer than the other one, and it was so intriguing. It was a novella about the Darkling, which you have probably heard about if you have ever heard about this trilogy. It's a story that happens before Shadow and Bone, and it kind of, not explains why he is the way he is, but it does kind of makes the character more understandable, I'd say. I just kind of know who he is a bit more now, and I just thought that was really interesting, and just overall the story was so intriguing, and I totally got chills while reading it. It was really well done. The last book I want to talk about is a book that I have not yet finished, but I just kind of want to talk a bit about it, and that is Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo, the second book in the Grisha trilogy. I'm more than halfway done, and you know, before it's like a month later where I already forget all about what happened in this, I just want to briefly talk about it so far. It's basically the same as Shadow and Bone for me. I still think that the world is really enjoyable and I really like to read more about it, but it's still not amazing to me. There's some new characters in this that I find incredibly interesting, but it's just not enough of these characters. So far, I just haven't really found like a spark. So these were all of the books that I finished and started reading in January. As I said, I feel quite happy and I think it was very successful, also because I just really liked all of these books. Hope that your January was just as well, reading-wise and life-wise, hopefully too. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon.